אהבתי מאוד ביתך ומקום משכן כבודך ואני אתוכבד ואקרא עברך לפני אדוני עושי מה טובו אוהליך יעקב אוהליך יעקב משכנותיך ישראל מה טובו אוהליך יעקב אוהליך יעקב משכנותיך ישראל ואני תפילתי לך אדוני את רצון אלוהים ברוב חסדך ענני בבית אישך מה טובו אוהליך יעקב אוהליך יעקב משכנותיך ישראל מה טובו אוהליך יעקב אוהליך יעקב משכנותיך ישראל.
And so, my friends, it's with our song of sanctuary, our song of community, Matovu, that I welcome you all here this morning on this very, very special Shabbat. Shabbat Pekudei, the Shabbat of Rosh Chodesh Adar, the start of the Hebrew month of Adar, where we are taught in our Talmud, Mishachanas Adar Marbim V'Simcha, when the month of Adar approaches, we should increase our joy. And in that spirit, I want to formally welcome, acknowledge, appreciate, and thank, because there's a difference between appreciating and thanking, our Bar Mitzvah and his family for allowing us to share the Shabbat and increase our joy through your Simcha, as Oscar, you become Bar Mitzvah through our Shacharit service this morning, and also our bride and groom who are joining us with their family and friends as they begin a series of celebrations leading up to their chuppah. Two smachot in one Shabbat morning service. There couldn't be a better illustration of the Talmudic dictum to increase our joy, and I really want to invite each and every one of you inside our sanctuary to join with us in that endeavor. Hopefully on your way in, you were handed a copy of our Mishkan Tefillah, of our prayer book. We're going to begin, in fact we have already begun on page 192, 192. And in a few moments we're going to continue with our prayers for the morning blessings, Brachot HaShachar. And as you'll see on page 194 and those that follow, for those that are less familiar with our prayer book, that we have both the Hebrew, the transliteration, and a translation of the traditional words as an invitation to participate wherever and whenever you feel comfortable. And I know that we would very much appreciate your fulsome participation in services as you feel comfortable. Two additional words of welcome, and those are to those that are not actually in this sanctuary, but those that are joining us through the live streaming of our services. We know that there are far too many in our community right now who are not able to physically be with us because they are unwell at this time, and we know how much the live streaming of our services allows them to connect with community. And on this Shabbat where we're celebrating Simchas, we also have the opportunity to welcome family and friends from across the world. We've got greetings for family in Germany, in Israel, and in New Zealand. We have friends in Hong Kong and the US watching. It really is a global community celebrating the start of Adar. And the second welcome and acknowledgement is one that requires me to look up. It's not that often on Shabbos we have to look up into the balcony at this congregation, but I want to welcome our Bina Bet group, who are up there with Jade Karp, our Bina coordinator. These are students working towards Bar and Bat Mitzvah. And this morning, as part of their learning journey, they have a program which is about an annotated service. So from time to time through this morning's service, not to be pediatric to you, but to be educational and informative to them, I'll be referring to this sheet which they've got, which is just a navigation sheet of the structure of the service. You don't have copies of it down here. It's for them, but I promise I won't linger on it too much, and you'll see them come down. Some of the 50-plus bar and bat mitzvah students who we'll be celebrating with in the coming year. Those are lots and lots of words of welcome, lots and lots of words of introduction. All is set, all is done, with the exception of one thing. I'm looking at a bar mitzvah, who is actually the calmest looking face of all of them. His dad's terrified. The calmest looking face before me. Oscar, you are missing one thing. What is that? You are missing your talit. So I'd like to invite you up onto the bimah together with your parents for the presentation of your talit.
I wore this talit on my bar mitzvah. My father bought it for me. He gave it to me. It's with great honour that you wear it today to carry on the tradition.
I'm so proud of you and this journey you've been on. Everything you do in your life, I'm wishing nothing but best in your future.
Amen. We continue now with our prayers for healing and wellness. First, the words of Asher Yatzar on page 194. Please join me in the Hebrew. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Yatza et Adam b'chokhmah uvara bo nekavim nekavim chalulim chalulim galui v'yadua lifnei kiseh kvodecha she'im yipateach echad mehem o yisatem echad mehem אי אפשר להתקיים לעמוד לפניך. ברוך אתה אדוני, רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות.
אלוהי, אלוהי, נשמה, שנתת לי טהוראי. אלוהי, אלוהי,
and have arrived at page 196 with Elohai, with our Nisim, 198 I should say, with Nisim B'chol Yom, the blessings for our daily miracles offered responsibly by our Bar Mitzvah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lesvivina lavchavchim vein yom uvein laila.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim.
Amen. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם ברוך הארץ על המים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המכין בצדי גבר.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם מלביש ערומים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם הנותן לאויב כוח.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המעביר שינה מעיני ותנומה מעפעפיי.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני בצלם אלוהים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני בן חורים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני ישראל.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם עוזר ישראל בגבורה.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם עוטר ישראל בצברה.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני
אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו לעסוק בדברי תורה.
אמן. הרב נא אדוני אלוהינו את דברי תורתך בפינו ופי עמך בית ישראל. והנה אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל כולנו יודעת שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה אדוני המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל.
אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, ואלו הן. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, ואלו הן. כיבוד אב ואם וגמילות חסדים והשכמת בית המדרש שחרית וערבית. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, ואלו הן. והכנסת אורחים וביקור חולים והכנסת כלה ולוויית המת ועיון תפילה והבאת שלום בין אדם לחברו. ותלמוד תורה כנגד כולם, ותלמוד תורה כנגד כולם, ותלמוד תורה כנגד כולם. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, ואלו
As the text suggests, we're in the midst of our Torah study. Each morning, in the midst of Barachot HaShachar, we pause to study some Torah. The words we just sang, perhaps not the melody they used when they penned the Talmud, would come straight to us from the tractate of the Talmud entitled Shabbat. And as our second study text, our Bar Mitzvah has chosen a more modern reading on the top of page 207.
Covenant, calling and covenant works goes on in each other, act of teaching and learning of the Torah, through which at the same time God is still being revealed.
We bring our Brachot HaShachar, our morning blessings, to a close with an alternative offering of Kaddish de Rabbanan, the Kaddish in honor of our teachers. It can be found on the top of page 209.
For our teachers and their students, and the students of the students, we ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say,
Amen.
And for those who study Torah, here and everywhere, May they be blessed with all they need. And let us say,
Amen.
We ask for peace and loving kindness. And let us say,
Amen.
We turn forward to the next portion of our service for our friends upstairs in the balcony, to our Sukkah de Zimra, beginning with the words of Baruch She'amar.
Baruch she'amar v'haya olam.
Baruch hu.
Baruch hoseh bereshit.
Baruch omer ve'oseh.
Baruch hoseh v'makayeh.
Baruch merachem al haaretz.
Baruch merachem al habriot.
Baruch meshalem sachar tov lireav.
Baruch halad v'kayam lanetzach.
Baruch bodeh umatzil. Baruch shemo. בשבחות ובזמרות ניגד אליך ונשבחך ונפארך ונזכיר שמך ונמליכך מלכנו אלוהינו יחיד חי העולמים מלך משובח ומבואר עדי עד שמו הגדול ברוך אתה אדוני מלך מהולל בתשבחות.
Page 214, Psalm 92.
ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. לזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך באלוהות עלה אסון ועלה דבר עלה היגיון וכינור לזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון. הזכרתני אדוני בפועלך במעשה ידיך רבים. גדול מעשיך עלי ועוד עמקו מחשבותיך. איש הרע לא ידע וכסיל לא יבין את זאת. מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון. צדיק הזמן יפרח בארץ מלבנון מלבנון יזכה שתולים בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהים יבריחו עוד ינוחון ושמה לשני ורעננים יהיו לך להגיד ישר אדוני צורים ולא
The Sukkah de Zimra, the portion of the service that we are currently making our way through is, as you can see on the far left or far right of the respective pages, a compilation of psalms, of songs that the rabbis gifted to us through tradition as a way of getting us moving through our morning service. They are often thrown around and offered by different people, and we just had Psalm 92 led for us by our Bat Mitzvah next week. Maya, and we're going to continue now on page 215 with the Psalm 145, the words of Ashrei, led to us, for us by Chazan and by Patrick in his role as tutor of our Bar Mitzvah. this morning.
אשרי יושבי ביתך, עוד יעללוך סלה.
אשרי העם שככה לו, אשרי העם שאדוני אלוהיו.
אלא לדוד, ארוממך אלוהי המלך, ועברך שמך לעולם ועד.
בכל יום ארבחך, אהלל שמך לעולם ועד.
גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, ולגדולתו אין חקר.
דור לדור ישבח מעשיך, וגבורותיך יגידו.
הדר כבוד עודך, ודברי נפלאותיך עשיך.
ועזוז נורותיך יאמרו, וגדולתך אספרנה.
וחרב טובך יביאו, וצדקתך ירננו.
חנון ורחום אדוני, ערך אפיים וגדול חסד.
טוב אדוני להכל, ורחמיו על כל מעשיו.
יודוך אדוני כל מעשיך, וחסידיך יברכוך.
כבוד מלכותך יאמרו, וגבורתך ידברו.
הודיע לבני האדם גבורותיו, וכבוד האדם מלכותו.
מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור.
סומך אדוני לכל הנופלים, וזוקף לכל הכפופים.
עיני חולליך יסברו, ואתה נותן להם את אוכלם בעיתו.
פותח את ידיך, ומשפיע לכל רצון.
צדיק אדוני בכל דרכיו, וחסיד בכל מעשיו.
קרוב אדוני לכל קורב, לכל אשר יקראו באמת.
רצון יראיו יעשה, ואת שבתם ישמע והושיעם.
שומר אדוני את כל אוהביו, ואת כל השותיים ישמיע.
תהילת אדוני ידבר פי, וברך כל בשר, שם קודשו לעולם ועד. ואנחנו נברכיה, מעתה ועד עולם. Hallelujah.
And so we continue to offer our psalms, now on page 218, Psalm 150. The words as old as those that preceded it. The melody, well, surprisingly, actually a selection of our bar mitzvah, not of his parents or his grandparents, but his choosing his own.
Hallelu el bekotcho, Hallelu berkia uzo, Hallelujah, Hallelu vigorota, Hallelu gerogulo, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Hallelu beteka shofar, Hallelu benebe bechindor, Hallelujah, Hallelu betomu bachol, Hallelu bemini beoga, Hallelujah, Hallelujah.
and 23 with the words of the Yishtabach. Please join me in the Hebrew. Yishtabach Shimcha La'ad Malkeinu, Ha'el HaMelech HaKadol VaHaKodash, B'Shamayim u'Ba'aretz, Ki Lacha Na'eh Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elokei Avoteinu. Shir U'Shpacha, Hallel V'Zimra, Oz Memshala Netzach Gedola V'Gvura, Tzilah Tiferet Kedusha U'Malchut, Brachot V'Hodaot, Ma'ata V'Ad Olam.
Baruch Ata Adonai, El Melech Gadol V'Tishbachot, El HaOdaot, Adon HaNiflaot, הבוחר בשירי זמרה, מלך אלכי עולמים.
Amen. On page 224, we rise for the Chatzi Kaddish in advance of the call to prayer for my friends in the balcony. That means we're moving from section 2 to section 3 in our service. Might seem we're going really quickly, but I promise you, once Torah comes out, we will slow down. We are on page 224.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה ועלמא תברח חירותה וימליך מלכותה בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן גרים ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעל מעל ויד יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו לאל מן כל ברכתה ושירתה קדוש בחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו Amen. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed.
Please be seated. We continue with an alternative reading of the Yotze Or. It can be found on the top of page 229.
In the beginning, even then, a new light was sown for the righteous, a promise that your light will become the catalyst for first order and then hope. Author of language and light, help us to use words as you have, to cast light into dark waters and draw justice and truth.
Baruch Ata Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot.
Ahava Rabba Avotenu Adonai Eloheinu. How deeply you have loved us, eternal our God, gracing us with surpassing compassion. On account of our forebearers whose trust led you to teach them the laws of life, be gracious to us, teaching us as well. O merciful one, have mercy on us by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, learn, and teach, and lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah.
Love your neighbor as yourself, you said, and like blinded we saw, that inner and outer words are one as you are one. You spoke and we wrote. We reached for your down the centuries. Your light moving before us. As we climbed, fell back and climbed again. The Sinai of life.
Baruch Atah Adonai, Habocheh Ba'amo Yisrael Ba'ahava.
Blessed are you, eternal one, who chooses your people Israel in love.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam
ברכי מצוותך היום על לבביך ושנותיו לבניך בדברתם בם בשבתך בביתך ובלתך בדרך ושכבך וקומך ושכם לאות חלתך וחיים לטוטפות בין עיניך ובכתתם המזוזות ביתך ובשעריך ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם ועשו לכם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורתם ונתנו הציצית הכנף בציצי תכלת וחיה לכם ציצית וריתם אותו וזרעתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם ולא תטולו אחרי אלוהיכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם עובדים אחריכם למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם ראשים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם אל ארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Please join me on page 239 in English at the top left. Emet, there is no place where you are not. Even in the wilderness there is your word. Emet, the pen strokes of lightning, white fire, black flame. Stir the soul's passion, guide our sacred way. True and enduring is Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established, now and forevermore. Like Moses, Miriam, and all of Israel, we sing and rejoice.
We sing and rejoice, particularly not just because that is where we've arrived in our service, but because it is, as I mentioned in our welcoming remarks, also Rosh Chodesh Adar, and we should increase our joy. Doing that around our Song of Freedom, the Michamocha, is a beautiful way to do it, a very traditional way to do it, as we leave the melodies of the usual Shabbat to those of the season. And so as we think on this Rosh Chodesh, what could be the melody of Michamocha that would be appropriate for the season? Well, it gives me opportunity, as I did last night, to thank our Board of Governance again for supporting our clergy in bringing to us an amazing scholar in residence who's arriving next week. You may have seen or heard about him on the cover of our last magazine, Rabbi Sinatra. He's going to be with us through the first 2 weeks of Adar, culminating with an incredible choral performance with our Purim Spiel cast. I don't quite know if this version of Micha Mocha will make it into the Purim Spiel, but I certainly know it will make your Shabbat.
Micha Mocha Baheli Adonai Micha Mocha Nedar Ba'kodesh Nora Tehilot Oseh Fele Nora Tehilot Oseh Seems to fit, doesn't it? שירה חדשה שבחו גאולים לשמך על שפת הים יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד צור ישראל אומה בעזרת ישראל תכינו מך יהודה וישראל גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו קדוש ישראל ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל.
We've taken to our feet as we continue with our morning service. For those following along, we are now at the top of our fourth column at the Tefillah, or the Amidah, our standing prayer. We begin as one congregation, hoping, as the words of tradition teach us, that the Eternal will open our lips and give our mouths the ability to declare our praise.
Adonai Tsefatai Tiftach Ufi Akin Tehilatecha Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elohei Avoteinu Ve'Imoteinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VeHanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Vekonei Hakol Vezochei Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot Umevii Geula Livnei V'neihem למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני בחיי מתים אתה רב ומושיע משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל מכלכל חיים בחסד בחיי מתים ורחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בגבורות ומידו מלך מלך ממוצאי ומצמיח ישוע ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים נקדש את שמך בעולם כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום ככתוב על יד נביאך וכרזל זה ואמר קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלוא כל הארץ בכל הארץ ברוך כבוד אדוני מנקומו אחד הוא אלוהינו הוא אבינו הוא מלכנו הוא מושיענו והוא ישביענו ורחמיו לעיני כל חי אני אדוני אלוהיכם ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהי ציון לדור ודור הללויה לדור ודור נקוד לך ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש בשבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. We continue with Kiddushat Hayom, the sanctification of this day of Shabbat, and the singing of Yismachu on the top of page 250.
ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת והשביעי רצית בו וקידשת שבת חמדת ימים עוד קראת שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת זכר למעשה וראשית שבת זכר למעשה וראשית שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג Shabbat.
We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessings, O God. Baruch Atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. On the top of page 254.
R'tei Adonai Eloheinu be'amecha Yisrael u'tefilatam be'avan tekabel תמיד עבודת ישראל ישראל עמך אל קרוב לכל קורב פני אל אבניך וחוננו שפוך רוחך עלינו ותחזינה עינינו ושובך לציון
And on this Rosh Chodesh Adar, we add into our prayers of appreciation, of worship and acknowledgement, the words of Ya'aleh v'Yavo, the middle of page 254.
אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, יעלה ויבוא, וזכר זיכרוננו וזיכרון כל עמך בית ישראל לפניך, לטובה, לחן ולחסד ולרחמים ולחיים ולשלום, ביום ראש חודש הזה. זוכרנו אדוני אלוהינו, בוא לטובה, ופוקדנו בוא לברכה, והושיענו בוא לחיים.
And on page 257, the Hodah.
For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations. For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements. For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom. For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose. We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds.
Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shemcha v'chen ha'el hodot. Blessed the Eternal One. Your name is goodness, and you're worthy of thanksgiving, and we do so now with Sivu Shalom.
Sim Shalom. prayer or meditation, whether using the words of our prayer book, Hebrew or in English, or the words of our own hearts. We turn to the words of Hallel on page 560 and onwards, and we rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu likro et Hallel. Hallelujah, Hallelujah, de Adonai, Hallelujah, et Shem Adonai, Yehi Shem Adonai, Mevorach, Me'ata ve'ad olam, Mimizrach Shemesh ad Mevorach, Me'ulal Shem Adonai, Ramal kol goyim Adonai, Allah shamayim kevodot, Mikadonai Eloheinu, Amagmil HaShabet, Amashmili lirot bashamayim uvaret, Mikimim be'afadal, Be'arfot yarim Evion de'oshivim, Imnenivim, Imnenivei amot, Moshivi akeren habayit, Im avanim smecha, Hallelujah, B'seit Yisrael, Mimitzrayim, Be'Yaakov, Me'amloel, Hayta Yehuda lekodsho, Yisrael, Mamshelotam, Hayam Rav, Hayanos, Hayadeni Sov leachot, הירדן תיסוב לאחור, ההרים תרקדו חיילים, גבעות מבני צאן, מלבני אדון כולי ארץ, מלבני אלוהי יעקב, ההופכים הצורה גמיים, הלמים לבינו מים. Please be seated. We are at the top of page 565 with Psalm 117. Hallelujah, et Adonai, kol goyim, shabchu kol ha'umim, ki gavar aleinu chazor, ve'emet Adonai le'olam, hallelujah. Hodu l'Adonai ki tov, ki le'olam hazor, yomar na Israel, ki le'olam hazor, yomru na beit Aharon, ki le'olam hazor, yomru na Yireh Adonai, ki le'olam hazor. At the bottom of page 567, Pitchu li sharei tzedek avovam, odeya, ze hashar l'Adonai tzadikim, yavo'u bo. ברוך הבא בשם אדוני, ברכנוכם מבית אדוני, אל אדוני ויער לנו, יסרו חג באבותים עד קרנות המזבח. אלי אתה ועודך, אלוהי ארוממך. הודו לאדוני כי טוב, כי לעולם 69, the closing benediction. All your works shall praise you, eternal our God, and your faithful ones, the righteous who do your will, and all your people, the house of Israel, thank you in joyous song, and bless, praise, glorify, exalt, extol, sanctify, and proclaim the sovereignty of your name. For it is good to give you thanks, and to sing praises to your name, because throughout all time to eternity, you are God. Baruch atah Adonai, melech mehulal v'tishbachot. Blessed you, eternal one, the sovereign who is praised in song.
Amen, amen, and amen. We turn back to page 362, 362, for Seder Kriyat HaTorah Shabbat, the order of reading Torah on this Shabbat morning, as we leave Rosh Chodesh for just a little while and return back to Shabbat Pekudei.
Elohim Adonai ben kemaasecha malchutecha malchut kol olamim umemshaltecha bechol dor v'ador Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai imloch leolam va'ed Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom, ahava rachamim, eitiva v'irtzonecha et Zion, tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, Nechomot Yerushalayim Imcha levad batachnu Melech el ram v'nisa Adon olamim Vayhi b'nso Aaron Vayomer Moshe Kuma Adonai Veyavutzu oevecha Veyanutzu mesanecha mitpanecha Ki mitzion tetzei Torah Ki mitzion tetzei Torah Ulevar Adonai mirushalayim Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Le'amo Yisrael Miki Kedushato.
The Ten Commandments.
Anochi Adonai Elohecha asher hotzayeticha me'eretz Mitzrayim mibeit avadim. I am your eternal God, who led you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Lo yihiyeh lach Elohim acharim al panai. You shall have no other gods beside me. Lo tisa et shem Adonai Elohecha lashal. You shall not swear falsely by the name Adonai your God. Zachor et yom hashabat lekadesho. Remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Kabed et ivecha ve'et imecha. Honor your father and your mother. Lo tirtzach, you shall not murder. Lo tin'ach, you shall not commit adultery. Lo tignov, you shall not steal. Lo ta'aneh, you shall not bear false. Lo ta'aneh vare'acha ed shaker, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Lo tachamod, you shall not covet.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adoneinu Kadosh Shemo Gadol Adonai Iti רוממת שמו יחדיו. לך אדוני הגדולה והגבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד. כי כל בשמיים ובארץ לך אדוני הממלכה והעמית נעשה לכל לראש. לך אדוני הגדולה והגבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד. בכל בשמיים ובארץ לך אדוני הממלכה והעמית נעשה לכל לראש. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו וישתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו וישתחוו להר קודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. Please be seated.
Please be seated. We are continuing, as I said, with our Torah reading. We leave Rosh Chodesh just for a while. Last week we referenced it in our Sidra, in our readings, at least in our Kriya, with a special reading from Mevarachim HaChodesh. But today we take the opportunity just to focus on the Sidra. And that's a particularly wonderful opportunity because our seventh and final Aliyah, as Oscar becomes Bar Mitzvah, will include us completing the reading of Pekudei and therefore completing the reading of the book of Exodus and having the opportunity to wish each other strength to enjoy the coming reading of Leviticus. And for those of us who have spent time in Leviticus, it does often require a little bit of strength to enter into. But we're going to be picking up in the Cloud Chumash. We're leaving our prayer book for a little while into the Chumash. That's the larger blue book, which can be found underneath a good many of your pages. I'm sure Jeff in the back would be happy to get you a copy if you would like one. It looks remarkably like the book that the cantor is currently holding up. You know it is the Torah because it says on the front, the Torah. We'll be on page 685, picking up in verse 12 of chapter 40 of Exodus. I could probably do that the other way around to make it a little easier to find. Chapter 40 of Exodus, verse 12, page 685. We have a whole host of things to recognize, to remember, and to celebrate this morning. We really couldn't put more into our service, and I thank them in welcoming them. But to begin with the family who are beginning a series of celebrations leading up to Chuppah is a lovely way to start. So in a few moments we'll have a bride and a groom on this bimah. But before we get there, we want to build a story, tell a story, begin and enjoy a celebration. And so we call to Torah for our first aliyah, some of the family of our bride and groom.
So for our first aliyah, we invite Betty, Henry, Deborah, Laurie, and Sue to come to Torah, and Peter Haloch will be laning for us. Yamdu Miriam bat Yitzchak, veHenoch ben Gedalia, veDeborah bat Henoch Miriam, veMoshe ben Yitzchak, veShoshana bat Gedalia, Rishonim la'aliyah laTorah. And as those people come up, you will find us on page 685, left-hand column. Second line from the bottom, beginning of that sentence. So I'll say that again, 685, left-hand column, second line from the bottom, beginning of the sentence, which is the beginning of verse 12 and onwards. We're going to point to where we're beginning inside the Torah. I'd like to come forward if you want to touch there with the tzitzit. Sit there, go ahead if you wish. Baruch Adonai mevorach leolam va'ed. Amen.
והקרבת את אדוני את פניו אל פתח אוהל מועד ורחצת אותם במים והלבשת את אהרון את בגדי הקודש ומקשרת אותו וקידשת אותו כי הני ואת פניו תקריב והלבשת אותם כותנות ומשקת אותם כאשר משקת את אביהם וכיכנו לי והייתה להיות להם משקתם לקנות עולם לדורתם ויעש משה ככל אשר ציווה אדוני אותו כן עשה
חזק. And the blessing Amen.
So 5 of you, we say, Mishaberach Vatenu Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, V'imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, V'leah. May the Holy One who blessed our forefathers and foremothers bless each of you in honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of telling the cantor that it's on the other side of the bimah. But most particularly in honor of standing on the bimah here, representing so many of the family and friends that are gathering and have gathered to enjoy this wonderful celebration. The love that is represented by this beautiful bride and this groom who's looking much better now that his talit is no longer drowning him. And there are so many celebrations that lay ahead of you, not just in the weeks that lie ahead, but in the years that lie ahead. And we know that as families come together and grow together, it is a real beautiful thing. And our hope and our prayer is that you have many more opportunities to share in that beauty, to share in that blessing, to rejoice in that blessing, and to have many, many, many more simchas to enjoy together. We ask that God bless you, that God bless all those that are dear to you, and we say together, V'nomar, Amen. I'm going to ask you to come across this side. I'm going to ask that Wendy and Courtney and Bruce join us as well. What the cantor was collecting was a chuppah, because as well as building a story, we're also building a picture. And before we can invite our bride and groom to Torah, we'd like to have their parents hold each of these poles of this chuppah. Please come on up to form this bridal canopy. And while they are doing that, I'll turn my back so I don't micromanage the construction. There are some lollies making their way around the congregation. This is, as I keep saying, the start of Adar. There's nothing wrong with throwing lollies twice in shul. I just want to encourage my friends at the back of the room not to throw from the back, because you'll hit the balcony roof. But if you could get up here pretty quickly to fetch them, we're going to be celebrating the joyous occasion of this ufruf, this forthcoming marriage, as well as the bar mitzvah. So there are going to be plenty of lollies. Freddie, you're looking way too keen. But I respect that as well. Chuppah is there. I'm going to actually bring it a little bit further forward as we call to Torah.
So for our second Aliyah, we have Patrick laning for us, and for the Aliyah, we invite Stephanie and George to come to Torah. Yamod, Yamod, Yamdu, Ruth bat Avram v'Sara, v'Gedalia ben Chenoch u'Miriam, Chatan v'Kala l'Aliyah l'Torah. We're just going to point to where we begin. Come forward, come forward. Point to where we begin, it's back one. There it is. So if you want to touch there with it, that's it. Baruch Adonai u'varach le'olam va'ed. Amen. We are at verse 17 and onwards. 17 and onwards, which you'll find on 686, right-hand column. About fifth line down, last word on that line.
Amen. Vayehi b'chodesh harishon בשנה השנית באחד לחודש הוקם המשכן ויקם משה את המשכן וייתן את אדניו וישם את קרשיו וייתן את ברכיו ויקם את עמודיו ויפרוס את האוהל על המשכן וישם את מקצה האוהל עליו מלמעלה כאשר ציווה אדוני את משה ויקח וייתן את העדות אל הארון וישם את הבדים על הארון וייתן את הכפורת על הארון מלמעלה.
חזק. Amen.
Asking the two of you, in fact, inviting the two of you to come a little closer underneath this chuppah. We offer to the two of you as well blessings, asking that may the one who blessed our forefathers and foremothers bless the two of you in honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of community, in honor of family and friends that surround you, in honor of those that are literally holding up the poles of this canopy above you, but most particularly on this occasion, in honor of the canopy under which you stand, which foreshadows the chuppah, which you'll be standing under together in just a few weeks. And then our hope and our prayer is, like this canopy, and like the canopy you're going to stand under on your wedding day, the home that you are creating together is always a safe, secure, and sheltered place. But we also hope and pray that just like this canopy, just like your chuppah, your home will always be open to those who love you and those whom you love, so that you can share those memorable moments. As we mentioned when we stood over the barbecue just last week, a lot of things are not changing with this ceremony, with this moment. Your affection, your love, your relationship, it has been building and growing for some time. This is not going to be new. But there's also going to be so much that through this journey and through this moment, as you bring Kedushin into your relationship, that will change. And we want you to celebrate that, to mark it, to appreciate it, and to never ever let go of it. And to help you do that, we want to give you a small gift from this, your congregation. It is a new gift we're offering to brides and grooms, and it is not what it looks like. For what we are giving you is a Havdalah set, a beautiful, decorative Havdalah set that has within it both the spices and the candles. You'll have to bring your Kiddush cup from your chuppah. But the spices and the candles that allow us to separate moments that have passed from moments that will be. And we hope that each time you use this Havdalah set in your future together, in your home together, you'll be reminded of that which was before you had each other and that which you continue to create together. And so we ask that God bless each of you as individuals, but most particularly as we stand beneath this chuppah, we ask that God bless you as a couple. We invite this family and friends to shower blessings upon you as we say, Ken Yehi Ratzon, may those blessings be God's will, and we wish you Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov.
Simmen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simmen Tov, Simmen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simmen Tov, Simmen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simmen Tov. Yelanu, 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 oh bechol Yisrael. Yelanu, Yelanu, oh bechol Yisrael. David Melech Israel, Chai vekayam. David Melech Israel, Chai vekayam. Mazel Tov. And if you are young or young at heart, you are welcome to come up and grab some of the sweets that are on the bima. However, I do need to indicate, because we will have another opportunity to throw sweets in a few moments, the objective of throwing sweets is to shower them with joy and sweetness and blessing, not to do mortal harm. So do be aware that candy thrown too quickly can actually do some harm. Having said that, we do move from celebration to a moment of memory. If you are here at a time of Shiva, Shloshim or Yartzeit, this next Aliyah is for you. Please come forward to share this next Aliyah, because we do remember loved ones who are unable to be with us at this time. The third Aliyah will be laid for us by Patrick. We are on page 686, 686, at verse 21 and onwards, which you will find at the top of the left-hand column. Actually the beginning of the left-hand column on page 686. Let's find where we begin. Baruch Adonai mevarach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai mevarach leolam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'chabanu mikol ha'amim v'natamanu et torato. Baruch Adonai noten Torah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayaveh et ha'aron el hamishkan, vayasem et paroch et hamasach, vayasech al aron ha'idut ka'asher tziva Adonai et Moshe. Vayitein et hashulchan be'ohel moed al yerech hamishkan safona michutz laparochet. Vaya'aroch alav erech lechem lifnei Adonai ka'asher tziva Adonai et Moshe.
that God, the one who blessed our forefathers and foremothers, also bless the four of you. In honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of community, in honor of family, in honor of friendship, even in honor of Simcha. The Simcha that's been called to Torah before you and the Simcha that will follow after you. But most particularly just at this moment as we sit in the liminal space between these two celebrations, as we call you to Torah in memory of loved ones who have lived and who are no longer with us. Our hope is that by taking these few steps up onto the bimah, you are not reminded of their loss, but you are uplifted by all that was beautiful and wonderful about their lives. And that in a few moments' time, as you step away from this Torah, that you hold on to those memories, those cherished moments, those memorable moments, those formative and transformative moments. Because if you can do that, if you can hold on to those positive memories, then you will go a long way to ensuring that those who you represent today on this bimah, that they and their memories will always be for a blessing. And that's all that we can hope, that the memory of our loved ones are for a blessing, and that we who go on aspire to live our lives as they would on their very best days. We ask that God bless each of you. We ask that God bless all those that are dear to you. And we say together in the Amen.
Amen.
And as we move from remembrance back to celebration in this yin and yang of the Jewish journey, you should be a little taller. You are a little taller. Before we transition into a series of aliyot in celebration of this young man becoming bar mitzvah, we are going to take the opportunity for him to tell us a little bit about that which he learnt along the way. I'm going to step away because he's promised me that he will be both loud, clear, and slow. Correct?
Shabbat Shalom. My Torah portion is Pekudei, and there is a lot of planning in it. This is the perfect portion for me because I love to plan. Planning is my happy place. I'm one of those people who needs to know what's going on. For instance, I always sit down and plan strategies for sport and other things. I have even filled up notebooks of sport strategies and designing my own techniques. This Torah portion is filled with details, especially with the building of the Mishkan. The Mishkan is a large tent for the high priests or the Kohanim to worship God. The Mishkan could be packed and moved with the Jewish people wherever they went in the wilderness. It connects with me because I love the importance of synagogue, which is today's Mishkan. My favorite bit of the Torah portion is Moses planning with God at Mount Sinai. Now, let me ask you a question, and I really do want to know what you think. Does going to shul make you Jewish, or does being Jewish make you go to shul? Anyone? Anybody?
The second one. Second one? Oh, second one. Being Jewish.
What do you say, Freddie? This time, I think that going to shul makes me feel more Jewish, and community is really important. TBI is a big part of our Jewish community, and our Jewish community is a big part of TBI. The Mishkan was always with the Jewish people, and the Jewish people were always with the Mishkan. I can relate to this concept very closely. In my life, I have moved around a lot, but I have always had the security of knowing and feeling that my home is where my family is. I also know that TBI is a second home for me. Even during the summer when my family and I go to Mount Martha, we love going to the pop-up Shabbat in Red Hill. Like the Mishkan, my community is where I go. So I learned two things from my Torah portion. The first is about the importance of planning. As I said before, planning gives me security and comfort, and I love it. And secondly, I learned that the heart of the Jewish community is a place to pray to God, but the place, even if it is physical, moves and stays with us wherever we may travel. Oh, sorry, wrong expression. Shabbat Shalom.
Oscar, don't go too far. We've got a whole lot of people coming to celebrate your bar mitzvah, so you're meant to be standing next to me.
So for our fourth aliyah, we invite Ricky to come and lane for us. For this aliyah, we invite Jamie and Simone and Richard and Leon and Debbie to come to Torah. Ya'amdu Yirmiyahu ben David veShoshana veSimona bat Moshe vechana veReuven Asher ben David veShoshana veAryeh ben Shlomo uDvora veDevora bat Eta Revi'im la'aliyah laTorah. You will find us at verse 24 and onwards, which is to be found on 686 left-hand column. 5th line down, last word on that line. And we're just going to find where...
Nothing I like more than an uncle jogging back into shul. We did talk about the wonders of door 5 at the rehearsal.
So if you'd like to just touch, this is where we were beginning at Vayasim, right there. Would you like to touch the 60th, just there? Okay. And the blessing before the time. Baruch Adonai mevarach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai mevarach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'chalanu mikol ha'amim v'tamanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai notenei haTorah.
Amen.
וישם את המנורה באוהל מועד, נוקח השולחן על ירך המשכן הגבוה. ויעל הנרות לפני אדוני כאשר ציווה אדוני את משה. וישם את המזבח הזהב באוהל מועד לפני הפרוכת. ויקטר עליו כתר סמים כאשר ציווה אדוני את משה.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan Torah temet v'chaye olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
To each of you, we also say Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov V'Tenu Sar Rivka Rachel V'Leah, the Holy One who blessed our forefathers and foremothers, bless the 5 of you and your families and those whom you represent as representatives of this young man's extended family, his aunts and uncles and all of those that have supported him along the journey, but most particularly in honor of having the privilege to watch him demonstrate this journey, to demonstrate the way in which he's grown, the way he's taken on challenges and opportunities and how he's made them his own in his unique way. I asked him a couple of times, what is it that I can say to recognize and appreciate you and that which you represent in being afforded this honor on this day? And he said, I just want to say thanks. Thanks for the support that they give me. Thanks for being there. Thanks for the encouragement. That was 3 thanks I got on Thursday. He didn't say that about his parents. So I think that it's a really wonderful opportunity both to recognize the appreciation and gratitude that you have helped instill in this young man, but also the fact that he doesn't take it for granted. And our hope and our prayer is that you have many more opportunities to watch him and his little brother grow and achieve and do, and that he'll be able to celebrate with you and with your families in the years to come. We ask that God bless each of you. We ask that God bless all of you. And we say together, V'nomar, Amen.
Amen. For our 5th aliyah, we invite Nick to come up and lane for us. And for the aliyah, we invite David and Rose to come to Torah. Ya'amdu David ben Shlomo uDvora veShoshana bat Yeshua veHinda 50 la'aliyah laTorah. We are at verse 28, which you will find on page 686, left-hand column, 3rd line from the bottom, 3rd last word. We're going to point to where you begin, which is Vayasem et Masach. Vayasem Masach. And the blessing before the time.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai mevarach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natanu lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai notenu haTorah.
Amen.
וישם את מסך הפתח למשכן, ואת מזבח העולה שם פתח משכן אוהל מועד. ויעל עליו את העולה ואת המנחה כאשר ציווה אדוני את משה. וישם את הכיור בין אוהל מועד ובין המזבח, ויתן שמה מים לרחצה.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורה אמת לחיים עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. May the Holy One who blessed our forefathers and foremothers bless the two of you also in honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of community, in honor of family, in honor of this extraordinary group of friends that have all come together to celebrate with this young man, to celebrate with the two of you, to celebrate with your family as you mark this significant milestone. A young man coming to Bar Mitzvah is not something that happens every Shabbat. And you know that you've seen over the last few years as he's taken to this challenge. First with the trepidation, then with enthusiasm, and then with a unique and remarkable focus. And that has allowed him to do and experience all that which he's doing today. And our hope is that you as grandparents have many more occasions to see him take on challenges like this, to master them as he's doing, but particularly, even if he's not always able to master them as well as he's mastered this, to get as much meaning out of the challenges he sets himself as he's getting today. We ask that God bless you, that God bless all those that are dear to you, and we say together the Numar.
Amen.
Before we get that, I also want to offer a quick Bible talk, because it is the first time that Nick has had an opportunity to read from Torah. She did so beautifully. I told her I won't make a big deal out of it. I'm just going to mention it.
Right. And of course, because it is the first time, we say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyimanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. I didn't make any promises.
The yard is passing to our Bar Mitzvah, and the yard is actually particularly changing, which gives us an opportunity to recognize that the yard he's going to be using to lay in these, next to these last two aliyot, is a gift to him from our colleague, Rabbi Etlinger, who has supported you so much along your journey and has so disappointed that she couldn't be. She's currently visiting with family in South Africa, that she couldn't be here, but I know that she is joining us through the live streaming of our services, so you can wave and say hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
May that be a yard that you not just use today, but that you use at many more occasions when you have the opportunity to share your love of tradition as you read Torah now.
And so for the sixth Aliyah, we continue. Oscar will lane for us, and for this Aliyah, we invite Adrian and Nick to come to Torah, along with, probably accompanied by Freddie. יעמדו אדם בן דוד ושושנה ויוחנה בת אברהם וזרע שישים לעלייה לתורה. We are on page 687, top of the right-hand column at the break. And we're going to point to where we begin. Baruch Adonai mevarach leolam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai mevarach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torah. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Freddie.
ורחצו ממנו משה ואחרון ובניו את עליכם ואת רגליהם בבואם אל אוכל מועד ובקרבתם אל המזבח יחצו כאשר צווי אדוני את משה והקם אל סביב למשכן ולמזבח וייתן את מסך של החצר ויחס משה את
את
המחר.
חזק. And blessing after.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורה אמת וחיים עולם אתה בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
May the Holy One who blessed our forefathers and foremothers bless the two of you who are called to Torah, and you, young man, who came with them just to be supportive because you weren't sure they were going to find their way by themselves. In honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of family, in honor of friendship, in honor of love, but most particularly in honor of this young man who you have supported and seen grow and take on challenges and opportunities and overcome those challenges and embrace those opportunities in ways that few of us could ever have possibly imagined. There could be few greater pleasures of parenthood than watching our children achieve, watching them grow, watching them be comfortable, watching them discover who they are and support them in becoming those people. And by standing alongside of him as he becomes a bar mitzvah is a significant milestone in your lives. A significant moment to say, look, we've got you. There's still some ways to go, but he's doing pretty darn well. And that's something that all of you should take great joy out of. We ask that that experience of joy which is running through your veins right now never leaves you. And when you feel it kind of dwindling and waning, you go back to the moments, the feelings that you're feeling right now, and you hold on to them. You let them replenish and refresh you so you can take on the next challenges that lay before you. We ask that God bless you, that God bless all those that are dear to you, and we say together in the mouth.
Amen.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. And then for our final aliyah, we have our bar mitzvah boy, Yamod, 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 Yaron ben Adam Yochanan, Nara bar mitzvah aliyah la Torah. And you will find him beginning at the bottom of 687 right-hand column, bottom line, right-hand column at the beginning of that line. And we begin with the Torah blessings. Baruch Adonai mevorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai mevorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. So being that this is the last aliyah for this book, there is a tradition of rising, and at the very end of this aliyah we also share the words Chazak, Chazak, v'nitzchazek. Please rise. Chazak v'nitzchazek.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nekach v'torah. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
And to you, Oscar, we also say Mishaberach Avoteinu Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, V'imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah. May the Holy One who blessed our forefathers and foremothers bless you in honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of a community, in honor of family, in honor of friends, in honor of bride and groom, but most particularly in honor of you taking on the mantle of bar mitzvah, in accepting that aliyah, la Torah that you were just called to, in taking that yad, not just lightly in your hand, but firmly in your hand, understanding what it represents and the gift that you have given yourself. In your Devat Torah, you told us how lucky you felt to be able to have community in your life. I get to stand on this bima just a few moments later and look you in the eyes and say how lucky we are to have you in our community. You bring so much energy, so much passion, so much enthusiasm. And as you get more comfortable and more knowledgeable, we know that that energy and that enthusiasm is only going to grow. And so we thank you for it. We don't thank you for what you've done today, but we thank you for all that which you're going to continue to do. As you really take on the mantle, the title, and the responsibility of what it means to be a bar mitzvah. So I'm going to ask your parents to slip behind you, your brother to come around the side. He might need the box so he can get all the way up to your head. And we're going to place, you're focusing on your brother. We're going to place your hand, you're going to place your hands on his shoulders, and you guys can place your hands on his head. As we offer a blessing as old as our people itself, a blessing you've heard us recite on this bima many times before, a blessing I had the privilege of offering to the two of you underneath your chuppah with their help. And now we offer it to you. First offered by Aaron to his sons, and then from the priest to people, and now from parents to child.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May the brightness of our tradition shine down upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
And Oscar, wherever it is that this journey leads you, may it continue to be a place of meaning, a place of purpose, but most of all, a place of peace. And to that we say, Kenya Hiratzon, and we join with all this entire congregation of family and friends in wishing you Mazel Tov.
Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov, Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov, Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov, Elanu. Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov, Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov, Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov, Elanu, Elanu, Elanu. Israel, Yelanu, Yelanu, oh, B'chol Israel, David Melech Yisrael, Chai v'kayam, David Melech Yisrael, Chai v'kayam.
As they say, practice makes perfect, and that second Vimmer cleanup was a little more rapid than the first.
As is our tradition, we move to a moment of thought for those amongst us, and those within our community who are unwell at this time. And so we turn to page 371 to share a prayer in the presence of Torah for those who are unwell. Sheberach Avotenu Mekor Avraham Leimoteninu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say
time we think in our community of Albert Bentata, Eva Marx, Gabriel Batitza Kudbora, Annette French, Henley Gladwin, Anita Meany, Sue Brown, Rona Zinger, Viva Bentata, George Shaw, Adira Bat Rachel, Bella Magid, Rebecca Moylan, Chana Bat Dora, Mel Wright, Peter Orloff, Grigory Mashkulitsky, Ludia Kotskenko, Ron Aarons, Marcia Moore, and Morris Mark. If you have other names that you would like to add to this list, people in your lives, in your family circle that could benefit from a blessing of healing, then I invite you to share those names as my eyes meet yours. turn to the facing page, to the bottom of page 370, as we rise to give honor to the scroll.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. ירה לה 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 לה, ירה לה לה לה, ירה לה לה לה, ירה לה לה לה, ירה לה לה. Please be seated.
We continue with the Haftarah for Shabbat Pekudei. It can be found back in the Plough Chumash on page 726, although our Bar Mitzvah will be reading it in translation preceded by the blessings.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher nachal b'nevi'im tovim, v'ratzah v'divrachem, hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai, chabocher b'torah, u'moshech avodo, u'v'Yisrael amo, u'v'nvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. When all King Solomon's work in building the house of the Eternal was done, Solomon brought all the things that his father David had consecrated, the silver, gold, and the vessels that and deposited them in the treasury of the house of the Eternal. Solomon then assembled the elders of Israel and all the heads of the tribes and clans of Israel to come to him in Jerusalem. They were to bring up the Ark of the Covenant of the Eternal from the city of David, that is Zion. All the men of Israel came together before King Solomon at the festival of Sukkot, in the 7th month Etanim. When all the elders of Israel had come, the priests took up the Ark. The priests and Levites together took up the Ark of God, the tent of meeting, and all the holy articles of the tent. Meantime, King Solomon and all the community of Israel with him were sacrificing countless, innumerable sheep and oxen. Then the priests brought the Ark of the Covenant of the Eternal to its place in the inner sanctuary of the temple, the Holy of Holies, under the wings of cherubim, whose outstretched wings covered the place where the Ark was standing, so that they hid the Ark and its poles. The poles were so long that their tops could be seen from the sanctuary in front of the innermost sanctuary, but could not be seen from outside. They are standing there to this day. There was nothing in the ark but the 2 stone tablets that Moses had placed there at Horeb, where the Eternal had made a covenant with the people of Israel after they had come out of Egypt. As soon as the priest filed out of the sanctuary, the cloud of God filled the house of the Eternal. For on account of the cloud, the priests were unable to stand and do their service. The glory of God filled the house of the Eternal. Then Solomon said, the Eternal said, I choose to dwell in thick darkness. Now I have truly built for you a royal mansion, a place where you may dwell forever. With all Israel standing there, the king turned around to face them and blessed them. He said, Praise be the Eternal, the God of Israel, whose mouth made a promise to my father David, and whose hands has fulfilled it. God had said, From the time I brought my people Israel out of Egypt, I did not choose a city from all the tribes of Israel for my house to be built there, for my presence to be there. But I have chosen David to rule my people Israel. My father David has set his heart on building a house for the presence of the Eternal, the God of Israel. But God said to my father David, You have done well to set your heart on building a temple for my presence, and yet it is not you, but your son, your own offspring, who will build the house for my presence. See how that promise has now been kept. I have risen to succeed my father David, and I now sit on Israel's throne, as God promised, and I have built the house for the presence of the Eternal, the God of Israel, and I have made a place there for the ark which contains the covenant, that the Eternal leading led them out of Egypt, made with our ancestors. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sur kol ha'olamim, tzadik b'chol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'oseh, ha'mdaber u'mkayem shekol devarai emet v'tzedek, al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha ve'limnucha lechavod ultifaret. Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach unatavnu otach yizrach shmecha befi kol chai tamid leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Yeshar koach, amen. I invite the tourists to rise, please, and the congregation to rise with it, as we offer blessings now for our country and for the people of the state of Israel, but we will be preceding that blessing with a prayer for our congregation offered by our Bina group, who's been working with Jade through the service, having an annotated Shacharit. These blessings can be found on page 376, and 377 in our prayer book. As I said in introduction, our Bina program is our group program that parallels the individual learning program as we bring young men and women to Bar and Bat Mitzvah. And these are a segment of those who will be celebrating with us over the next 12 months. I feel exhausted just turning my head. I wonder how they feel. But the prayer for our congregation, offered by the youth of our congregation, page 376.
Source of glory, may the children of this community learn these passions from us: love of Torah, devotion in prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy. Baruch atah Adonai, she'elcha levadcha b'yirat na'avot.
I'm going to ask you just to take a step back. Don't leave the bimmer as we continue now with a prayer for our country.
For our country. Let us bless our country of Australia and all its people. Let us have dreams in this historic land of dreamers. Let the hot winds from the desert fire our imagination. Let the red soil of the plains keep us rooted to the things that matter. Let the waters of our rivers, lakes and oceans flow into our hearts, giving us depth and understanding. Help us remember those who have lived in this land before us and those who have made it their home in more recent times. Keep our eyes open to the beauty of this land. May we strive to keep its beauty present and strong. May we never be lazy in the work for peace. May we honour those who have died in defence of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they lead with justice and compassion. Let our compassion be like the encompassing coastline of our continent. May acceptance, kindness and peace live steadily within this ancient and enduring land. Amen.
Amen. And on the facing page in the prayer book, on page 377, the prayer for the people and state of Israel.
Sha'alu Shalom Yerushalayim, Yishlayu Ohavayich. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread it over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Amen. We turn back to the prayer book as we return the scroll to the ark. We are on page 374.
יהללו את שם אדוני, כי נשגב שמו לבדו. הודו על ארץ ושמיים, וירם קרן לאבו, תהילה לכל חסידיו. תורתי אל תעזבו, עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה, ותומכיה מאושר, דרכיה דרכי נועם, וכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו אדוני
So as many of you know, I didn't have the good fortune, and I mean is that I didn't have the good fortune of growing up in this progressive community. I came from a somewhat less observant but more traditional community, fairly typical of Melbourne. And I found my way here to progressive Judaism by circumstance, by happenstance, by divine intervention. I'll let you decide on the theology. It's not for me to question how I came here, other than to give thanks for the fact that I did. And along the way, I discovered that there are many things that differ between progressive and more traditional forms of Judaism, and there are many things that don't. And some of the things that differ I really like. In fact, they're the things that define my Judaism today and have kept me here and have helped me grow as a leader of people and find my voice as a theologian and not just as a historian, because I see our tradition as a living one and not one just of the past. And there have been also things that I've been happy to let go of. What I've come to understand and see through my own personal learning as being artifacts of the past, significant for the historical symbolism, but not necessarily relevant in my life. And chief amongst them was my happy willingness to let go of the second day observance of Yom Tov. And those of you who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. The fact that when our ancestors left the land of Egypt, there was a concern, land of Israel I should say, there was a concern by our rabbis that the whole Jewish world would not be celebrating, observing and remembering things together, and therefore those who live outside the land should observe a little longer, a second day, to ensure that there was an overlap. Incredibly worldly and insightful when you think that this was 2,000 years ago and we didn't know things about time and space, or at least we couldn't articulate them in the way that we can today. But since the recreation of the modern state of Israel, those in the progressive and conservative movements, as well as all Jews within Israel, have returned back to a single day of observance. And it seems to make a little bit more sense for me, because it allows us to really focus on our observances without them, which has been my personal experience, kind of spreading out over 2 days and losing a little bit of their tongue, their taste, their feeling. That's a long way of me saying that I've changed my mind. Because this week, I've discovered a new reason for why sometimes we need a second day of observance. Where sometimes a first day is not enough. Because it doesn't allow us to really linger on all of the thoughts, all of the reasons, and all of the purposes for our holiday. Don't fear. I'm not suggesting that we add now a third day to Rosh Chodesh. 2 days of Rosh Chodesh is enough. I've heard Hallel enough this week. No, I want to add a second day to International Women's Day, because I don't think that one was enough, and as Jews we should take our practice of observing things over 2 days and share it with the rest of the world. Why is it that I think we should do that? Well, to explain that, Oscar, I'm going to need your help. How are you feeling? Good? Feeling strong? Well, I need you to walk over to the corner of the room there and pick up that rock and bring it over here. I'm serious. Actually, just walk all the way over, next to door 4, and there's a big piece of rock there. It's symbolic of the temple that you spoke about in your Haftarah. It is emblematic of the Mishkan that you spoke about and you read about in your Torah, and it is the reason why I think we need a second day for the observance of International Women's Day this week. It's heavy. You can do it. You're a bar mitzvah, you can do it. Just pick it up and bring it here. Come on. No. Yes, you're doing great, keep going. This is what it means to be bar mitzvah, to have the responsibility for carrying the future of Judaism. You are carrying some of Jerusalem. This is a piece of Jerusalem stone.
He's going to teach him how to vacuum next.
I'll take it from you now. So this is an authentic piece of Jerusalem stone. We often see stone like this on the outside of buildings all over the city of Jerusalem. And it is one of the pieces that was left to us after we completed the construction, not of our Mishkan, not of our tabernacle, not of our temple, but of our courtyard. And it's a tool that we use to teach about the importance and place of Jerusalem. Now, having asked you to do the heavy lifting, I'm going to ask you to try to do some remembering. Because last night when I stood on the spinner and spoke to the congregation, on Rosh Chodesh Adar, on the first day of the month of Adar, on International Women's Day, I gave the congregation 2 pieces of homework. Do you remember either of them? You're doing the right thing. You're looking over to Nick because she's the one in the family that remembers things. But she's panicking now too. You're absolutely correct. Affirmation of faith occurs in my life in so many unique ways, and it just occurred once more. Someone actually listened to my Devar Torah last night, and he was the bar mitzvah. Yes, I challenged the congregation to do 2 things on International Women's Day, on Rosh Chodesh Adar. To open up the Tanakh and to read from the book of Esther, the scroll that we read on Purim in just 13 days' time. To read, particularly if you have not, the first chapter, and understand why, particularly us fathers in the world, want our daughters to be like Vashti. And why Vashti is an extraordinary heroine in the Jewish narrative, even if she didn't identify as a Jew. And that challenge I continue, because having strong, committed, proud women who are able to articulate their view and their opinion is what is going to ensure that we have a better balanced future, the theme of this year's International Women's Day. And then I turned to the rest of the congregation and I said, if you get through chapter 1, you can skip 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll get to them on Purim. But take some time to linger for a little while on chapter 9. Because chapter 9 is not the story of Purim that we were taught in primary school. It's not the story of Purim that has us dressed up like princes and queens and kings. It's remarkably troubling. And it reminds us, again, particularly reminds us men, that we haven't always dealt with our past, our responsibility and our opportunity in the way that we could and should. The last chapter of the book of Esther is desperately in need of Vashti or Esther's voice. But all we're left with is a very strong masculine voice and a subsequent series of destructions and harms and hurts that have been left with us as our legacy. And so I felt last night that a little bit of reading would be a good way of observing our present, anticipating our future, and aspiring to fulfill the theme of a better balanced future, the theme of International Women's Day. And I thought I was done. And then I got to Shabbat dinner. I happened to have the privilege of having dinner here at the congregation last night with a group of 20 or so people who are exploring a future in Judaism. And as I sat down at the table, one of them said, "Gersh, what do you think about what happened in Jerusalem today?" And I said, "I've been at shul today." Tell me. And they explained to me a little of what they had read on the internet. Some of you might have seen articles or posts about it since then. Yesterday, Rosh Chodesh Adar, the 30th anniversary of the creation and celebration of Women of the Wall, this group of a cross-denominational group of progressive, conservative, reconstructionist and Orthodox women who want to find their voice in Judaism, in Jewish religious practice, and who on Rosh Chodesh go to the Kotel to celebrate the start of the new month and to share a service together. And over the years, they have been received and pushed away in differing degrees. But yesterday, as I came to learn, sitting around the Shabbos table, Dafka, on International Women's Day, it reached a new high, or quite possibly a new low. Over 5,000 seminary students, boys and girls, teenagers, bussed in from across Israel to form a physical barrier stopping women getting to the Kotel to be able to engage in prayer. Screaming, kicking, punching, spitting, ripping of prayer shawls in Ir HaKodesh, in our holy city, Dafka, on International Women's Day, the day when universally communities of all traditions, cultures and practices, groups and nations of all types come together to say we need a bit more balance. And our community, our people, found that as an opportunity to do the exact opposite. So my friends, this day we need 2 days Yom Tov. I thought we were done, but clearly we are not. And so Oscar, I need your help for one more second. Because this is the front of the stone. On the back of it there's a different message. It's one you've seen here over the last few years and you've heard me talk about a few times, but it's too heavy for me to spin by myself, so can you help me turn it around? Thanks. On Rosh Chodesh Adar, the Talmud teaches us, Mishikanas Adar marbim b'simcha. When Adar arrives, we should increase our joy. We should increase our frivolity. We should increase our celebration. But that doesn't mean we should absolve ourselves of continuing to fight the fight and make the point, particularly when we do so with respect, with grace, and with kavod. This Shabbat we've celebrated with the young man as he has become bar mitzvah, and he has given us new insight into our Torah. We've celebrated or begun to celebrate with the bride and groom as they continue to create their Jewish home together. And at the same time, we can also turn towards our ancient stones, our ancient stories, and be reminded that there is a place there for all of us. Everyone should be able to access our tradition in the way that is meaningful to them. I am not looking to usurp anyone's connection to our ancient homeland, to our ancient temple, to the Mishkan that our Bar Mitzvah boy spoke about. I just don't want anyone to deny me, my mother, my sisters, and my daughter the opportunity to engage with it. This wall belongs to us all, and when we realize that, we will have a better balanced world, and we will have a better world altogether. Shabbat Shalom. I got it. We turn to page 586 for our Aleinu prayers. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח, לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עוונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומונים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We remain standing for a few more brief moments as we turn our thoughts to those who are no longer with us and ready ourselves to offer the words of Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, which can be found on page 598. In advance of offering these words of remembrance, we take pause to remember and to recall that far too many have been taken from our communal and familial circles of late. We think first of those whose Shiva we are observing, of Benjamin Earl and of Irene Edith Johanna Newman. We also recognize the Shloshim, the first 30 days since the passing of Rabbi Jeremy Kolik, Annie Freiberg, Eva Friend, Jeffrey Goldstein, Stephanie Gray, Margaret Jones, Regina Kamninetsky, Maria Kam, Sandra Mayers, Elaine Nassau, Susan Nozick, Shai Pinto, and Robert Riegner. On this Shabbat Pekudei, the Shabbat where we finish the book of Exodus, we also recall the yortzites of those who have left us at this season in years gone by, as we recall by name and by memory Faye Aarons, Philip Aarons, Rosa Abram, Leon Birnbaum, Gerda Burstein, Erica Bentz, Irvin Bentz, Salah Cousins, Olga Geiger, Jack Golden, Norman Elijah, Solomon Fast, Egon Greener, Stephen Jacobs, Ada Jacoby, Stanley King, Edward Maddox, Jeffrey Opat, Joseph Penner, Harold Schock, Esther Slonim, Leonore Spivakovsky, Joseph Turtz, and Louis Wolf. If you have other names of remembrance that you would like to add to this list, then I invite you to add those names as my eyes meet yours, or if I inadvertently mispronounce any of those names, I invite you also to correct me as my eyes meet yours. Kaddish Yatom on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabah, v'amad yivrach kirtei v'yamlich mochotei, v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chei l'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'zman karir v'imru.
Yehi shmei rabah mevorach le'olam olam me'almaya.
Yiparach v'yishtabah v'yipa'ah v'yitruman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadav v'ytalei v'ytalal shmei l'kodisha.
B'richu.
לעולם מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעמה ואמרו, יהי שלום הרבה משמיא, בחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו, עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו, אמן. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to all of us, bring peace to all Israel, but most particularly bring peace to the memory of those who we recall, and to that we say, Amen. Please be seated. I invite our President, Rebecca Silk, to come up and offer a few announcements. Oscar, I think she's going to need some of your help, so why don't you come join her as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Rabbi. And thank you, Cantor Lalum, Joel and Patrick, for your liturgy this morning. It was lovely to have your voices enhancing our prayer. And welcome everyone, a very warm welcome to Temple Beth Israel from our board. Whether you're here for Shabbat, for celebrations, and we've had a lot of celebrations, whether you are here also in memory, and a warm welcome to all our visitors. We have visitors here from Mumbai, we have visitors here locally. Very warm welcome to you. Welcome to the Strauss family, and both those who are here and those who are watching. And Mazel Tov, Stephanie and George, on your upcoming Chuppah. Also, happy birthday to everyone who's had a birthday this week, including you, Oscar, who have a birthday today. Mazel Tov, Oscar, with so much going on this morning, what a superb job you did in leading the service and keeping track of where we were up to. I watched everyone around you being just so proud. You've set a great example for Freddie, who'll be following you to Bar Mitzvah in a few years' time. Your family's chosen to be part of TBI, and you guys have really become shul regulars, especially on a Friday night. Your mum Nikki's on our board, and we are delighted about that. So, to introduce you to the congregation, you went to Bialik through your primary school, and now you go to the new Paran High School. You're in Year 7, which is very first year. So what a great experience that is. And you do well at school, and you love the science sorts of subjects. But what you really love also is your sport. Yeah? I hope I've got the list. Remind me if I've left something out. So you play tennis, you play soccer, you do athletics, you do karate and swimming. Yeah? And as a family, you all play a lot of sport, and you follow the Melbourne Victory to all their games, just about. On your Bar Mitzvah journey, you told us that the best thing was learning the cantillation with Patrick, your tutor, and that was also the hardest thing. I think you did it really well. You wanted to not just read your Torah portion, but you wanted to really understand it and engage with the text. And I would say that you have achieved all your Bar Mitzvah goals. Oscar, I've learned also that you're a caring, a thoughtful, a very responsible person. And you told us that you feel that home is where your family is, and your second home is here at TBI. I understand that you're having a family trip to Israel in May, and I hope that that's a wonderful experience for all of you as you go to the Jewish homeland. So I welcome you as our newest member of TBI, and wish you all the best as you continue to grow and develop as a Jewish adult. And we have for you your Bar Mitzvah certificate. We have a book on our beautiful stained glass windows. We have for you your certificate of membership to the Union for Progressive Judaism, our roof body, and we also have something to help you get to your the next Netzer camp. So that is for you, and we also have a gift from TBI, which is a Kiddush cup for you to use for your family on Friday nights. Mazel Tov. A few announcements. Our TBI Film Club will be meeting tomorrow night, Sunday, and watching the film Gurumul on the very inspirational Indigenous singer, Jeffrey Gurumul Yunupingu. On Thursday night, there will be a panel here at Temple Beth Israel, Israel in Our Lives, with some very interesting speakers. Orly Eretz Likskovsky from Iraq in Israel, joined by Joel Burney from AJAC and Nixie Kobar, formerly president of Gorgeous, and that will be moderated by our own Cantor Lalum. Some other announcements are on your Kol Israel day sheet. Please feel free to take it home with you. A couple of things we need your help with. The King's Carnival, the King David School Carnival, is on Sunday the 24th of March. And we always like to help and support them, so TBI will be having a donut stall, and we will need a few volunteers. Thank you. We need a few volunteers to staff that stall and cook some donuts. So if you would like to help us with that, please do contact the office. Another very important volunteer program that we have is our Nourish program. Nourish marks the 3rd year anniversary. So for 3 years, Nourish has been serving meals down the road at dinner time on a Monday night in Alma Park. They've also started now to serve lunch to the homeless and disadvantaged on a Wednesday and a Thursday down in Chapel Street at Balaclava. So volunteers are needed for their shifts from 11 till 1:30 on a Wednesday or a Thursday. Please do contact Ellen Franchman in our office if you're able to volunteer. I'd like to thank Dot and Jeff for being our Shamashim today, and many thanks to our laners, Peter, Patrick, Ricky, Nick, and of course Oscar. On your way out, please do thank our security volunteers. They volunteer to keep us safe. After the final song, please join us for Kiddush, and do return your books to the trolleys. We will be in the Sloan Hall behind me. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Rebecca. And we do conclude with the words of Oseh Shalom b'imrumav hu yaseh shalom aleinu. V'al kol Yisrael b'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all of Israel and all of humanity. And we say, Amen. Shalom b'imrumav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael